Bats! Table of Contents. Chapter 1. Getting to know bats. 4. Chapter 2. Bat bodies. 10. Chapter 3. What's on the menu? 14. Chapter 4. Bat vision. 16. Chapter 5. The future of bats. 18. Glossary. 25. Chapter 1. Getting to know bats. You've seen bats in books and as spooky decorations, but have you ever seen a real bat? You may not have, because most bats sleep during the day and are awake at night. This is called being nocturnal. Because they're nocturnal, bats usually come out to fly in the evening. When people see bats flying in the sky at night, they often mistake them for birds. But besides being able to fly through the sky, bats are very different from birds. While baby birds hatch from eggs, baby bats are born from their mothers. They drink their mother's milk to survive. Bats also have fur. Animals that have these characteristics are mammals, not birds. But bats are very unusual mammals because they are the only mammals that can really fly. There are a lot of different kinds of bats. Some kinds are small and some are large. Some kinds of bats eat insects and some kinds eat only parts of plants. Each different kind of bat is called a species. That's a word scientists use for a group of animals or plants that are the same in many ways. Scientists believe there are about 1,000 different species of bats living in the world today. Bats can be found almost everywhere in the world. While most bats live in tropical forests, they can also be found almost anywhere that isn't very dry or very cold. Hanging out. When they're not out flying and finding food, bats are usually sleeping. They can be found asleep in hollow trees, caves, empty buildings, and tall trees. Like some other mammals, many kinds of bats that live in cold places sleep all winter, or hibernate. The deep sleep of hibernation allows them to survive the cold weather. Sometimes bats will settle together, or roost, in groups called colonies. Female bats also like to roost when they are getting ready to have their babies. Did you know bats sleep hanging upside down? This helps keep them safe from other animals. If they sense danger, all they need to do is let go and drop to fly and get away. Chapter 2. Bat bodies. All bats have the same basic body shape. They have arm and finger bones like people, but in bats, those bones are connected by skin that forms thin, strong wings. Bats also have sharp clawed feet that they use to grab food. They also use their feet to hang from branches, the walls of caves, and bridges. But bats can have very different features too. They can be red, yellow, black, white, or brown, with short or long fur. Bat ears can be small or big, and bat noses can be many different shapes. Big and small. The size of a bat depends on what species it is. The largest bat species is the golden-capped fruit bat. When this bat stretches out its wings, the length from wingtip to wingtip can be 5 feet. That's about as long as a small couch. The smallest species is Kitty's hognose bat, but many people call it the bumblebee bat because of its size. At about 1 inch long, this tiny creature is one of the world's smallest mammals. Chapter 3. What's on the menu? Most bats eat insects. That helps people because bats get rid of pests like mosquitoes and insects that eat the plants that farmers grow. A bat can catch and eat an insect in midair. Now that's fast food. Many tropical bats that live near the equator eat only fruit and the sweet juice that plants make, which is called nectar. These bats help more plants grow by spreading seeds and pollen. A few kinds of bats eat small animals such as birds, lizards, frogs, and fish. And there's a bat called the vampire bat, which bites animals like cows to drink a small amount of their blood. But don't worry, vampire bats rarely bite people. Chapter 4. Bat Vision. A lot of people think bats can't see very well, but that isn't true. Like people, they can't see as well in the dark as they can in the daylight. But remember that bats are nocturnal, so they usually fly and hunt at night. So how do bats find their food? They use sound. Bats make a sound with their mouths or noses and listen for the sound as it bounces off things back to their ears. That sound is called an echo. Echoes give bats a lot of information about what's around them. Bats can tell if something as small as a strand of hair is in front of them. This helps bats find tasty insects or other kinds of prey. Chapter 5. The Future of Bats. A mother bat usually gives birth to just one baby at a time. A baby bat is called a pup. At first, the newborn pup cannot see or hear, but it can hang upside down. For the first weeks of its life, a baby bat drinks milk from its mother. The mother carries her baby with her while she hunts or gathers food. Later, she'll give it other food to eat and help it learn how to get its own meals. Often, young bats don't survive because of dangers in their environment. They may fall from a high place before they learn to fly, or they might get sick. A dangerous illness called white nose syndrome has killed entire bat colonies, and many bat species are in danger of dying out completely. There are other dangers too. Some people hunt bats for food, and sometimes people cut down the trees and plants that are home to the fruits and insects that bats eat. However, there are also people who work to help bats and to teach others about them. Some of these people try to rescue injured or trapped bats, and others try to protect the places where bats live and the plants they need to survive. Bat Quiz. Now that you know more about these fascinating creatures, see if you can answer these questions. 1. How are bats different from birds? 2. How are some bats different from other bats? 3. How does sleeping upside down keep bats safe? 4. How do bats help people? 5. How can people help bats? Answers. 1. All bats are mammals, so they are born live, drink milk from their mothers, and have fur. 2. Bats can be different sizes, eat different kinds of food, and live in different kinds of places. 3. When in danger, bats can get away easily. 4. Many bats eat insects that harm crops. 5. People can rescue injured bats, and they can protect the places where bats live and the plants that help bats survive. Glossary. Colony. A group of plants or animals that live together in one place. Echo. A sound that bounces off something and comes back. Mammal. A type of animal that makes milk for its babies and usually has hair or fur. Nectar. A sweet liquid that plants make. Nocturnal. Being active at night. Roost. To settle down in one place for rest or sleep. Species. A group of animals or plants that are very similar to each other.